Welcome to Love Them Knives. LTK here. What are we talking about? We're talking about the Ripsnort. We're trying to adjust our lighting. Hopefully you can see this knife now. CRKT Ripsnort. So what's going on with this knife? Well, I'll tell you one thing. First of all, it's a liner lock. It's heavy liners. It's a cleaver style blade. It's a Philip Booth design. And he's done some other designs for CRKT. Ripsnort. Right there, see? Booth design. And did they tell you the type of steel? No. But I can tell you, 8CR13 MOV. You know, the high-end stuff. Yes. And we're biting our tongue. So, here's the lockup on this. It's all of that, isn't it? About 45-50%, if it's not more. It's all there. Now, this is that palm. What do they call that? Polymethylene? Whatever. Poly something methylene. I can't remember now what they call it. It's a long chemical name. Polyoxymethylene. I said, well, that's pretty shiny G10. Well, it ain't. It's POM. Polyoxymethylene. Yeesh. Oh, my God. What, we got to be chemists now? And this is like 2CR13 insert in here. So, yes. I mean, to me, this felt like almost like micarta. So, it's probably in the family. Probably is. I mean, little do I know, obviously. And you've got a pocket clip for deep carry, tip down carry. And that's your model number there, 7270. I like it because it's inexpensive. On this site, which is the one I threw away here, I'll show you before it falls in the trash can. Oh, which site was this? We'll check it out right now. Knives Plus. Okay, so Knives Plus had it for $29.99, and it's out of stock. And, you know, this was one that, a buddy of mine, Linus, over from Sweden, he called me. He's like, dude, can you help me out with I'm looking for a Ripsnort. And I mean, I'm sitting here going, I've got one sitting here on my table. He's going, how intuitive that was. It was. And so here's the deal. I'm sending it to him. But I wanted to put it on camera. I got this. I was a little surprised myself when I got it that it was as good as it was. I guess maybe my expectations are pretty low when it comes to some of the CRKT and or Kershaw knives, and maybe it shouldn't be. You know, the Carnifex, loved it, still do. Fossil, you know, good knife, really like it, same designer, right? So, Flavio Icoma, and then Ken Onion doing the hijinks, and the home front, I really like too. I was really shocked about how much I liked the home front. In any case, so this one, Philip Booth designed, but it's a cleaver style, so you know how I like cleavers. Yes, you do. Let's roll it back this way. So we got a G10 backspacer here. Or maybe that's the poly stuff that I can't, it feels more like it. Yeah, same as the handle material. Yeah. Probably is the exact same. Although it was really kind of hard to get all the specs offline. So there's some things you have to guess about, like the pivot. I didn't take this apart. I now kind of kick myself for not doing that. Then I could have put it back together backwards and sent it off to Linus. It's like, he's like, I don't get this knife. April Fools. A little early. But no, to me, this doesn't feel like bronze washers, but maybe it is. The action's really good. So I don't know what's in here. I really don't. And I haven't taken, I didn't take it apart, and I never saw anybody really talk about that. Let me see if we can take a peek. You know, they might be just like nylon washers in there. But I don't know. I really don't. So I'm not going to tell you. All I'm going to say is the action's really good. It doesn't say IKBS on here. And it will on, I know this one's IKBS. So they show you that this has an IKBS. Where this one doesn't say anything about it. So I'm tempted to say, yeah, it's probably the washers. But it's really good for that. And it's really tough to tell the difference. Except I guess when you close it, usually ball bearings, you know, they give you a little bit better drop than that. That's a little bit more contact. You get a fuller contact with washers, which is why some people prefer them, because you don't get as much debris and stuff like that that's likely to interfere with the pivot when you have washers, because it's full contact there. Where bearings, things can float on in there and gunk things up. So I get it. And if this is supposed to be kind of a heavy use, inexpensive budget type knife, okay. And you see that the scale ends here, and then this is exposed where the lanyard hole is. Interesting styling cue here, and you know, kind of meets up with this little insert of steel here in the scale. Now you don't have a tip up option. You don't have a left hand option. I don't mind tip down, and deep carry's not bad. And I do like the cleaver, and it's got belly, and so that would be fine, except you got a flipper tab. You got a big, tall flipper tab. So yeah, here's your contact patch here. Not, you know, but it's fairly typical for flippers. So that's the way it's just going to be. Got some jimping on top of the flipper tab. Really easy to open it. It's a satin grind. It's a cleaver. It's got a lot of blade material there, thickness. So it's stout. I think I read one of their guys that was giving some feedback on one of the sites about it, saying, you know, it's too small to be a big cleaver, and it's too big to be a small light carry knife. It's too heavy and thick and clumsy to be like a small, like light carry, but it's too small to be a big heavy chopper. So it's kind of living in no man's land. I don't know. I don't know. It's really not a terribly large knife. Where's Bertha? Get out here. So here you go. You're 3 1/4. So about 82 millimeters. Overall, 7 5/8 and 19.5 centimeters. So that's not terribly small. Let's get this out. So this would be a bigger knife though. Gripster. Yeah. See, much bigger, and this is just kind of your, to me, this is like a standard EDC size. This is a little bit smaller than what I would normally carry as a standard EDC, but it's not far. It's not far off that park. Okay, Gripster back. Where's Fancy? Fancy's new on the stage. She's all dressed up with a blurple, and she's thinking she's all that in a bag of chips because she's S110V. But she's standing in for Hollywood. Hollywood blew out of here. He went to Sweden, hanging out with the boys. He ain't coming back. So Fancy's took over. So she's like, got the attitude around here. In any case, oh, she's the boss here, right? She's the bigger girl. And So you're switching it up. See, you're not real far off as far as size goes. But, you know, look at the thickness. Wow. This one's a chunk. This one's a chunk of change. Let's get that. Let's find out how much of a chunk it is. Whew. Keep going. Keep going. Wow. 0.64. You know, most of them land around 0.46 to 0.54. So that's a chunk. 16.4 millimeters. Blade stock, about 4 millimeters. Okay, so that's a chunk of stuff, which would be about a 0.157, 0.158. Okay, if you brought it out to the third decimal. So thick, heavy, question mark, 5.6. 5.6 ounces. Where did I see the stats on this? Here's the stats as they are reported here. Overall length, 7 inches. Closed length, 4. Blade length, 2.83. Are we looking at the same knife? I have over a 3-inch blade. Now, cutting edge, that's different. Let's see if we got the weight, because I got 5.6 ounces. So let's just check that out. 6. Okay. Wow. I thought I saw that somewhere too. Yeah. So 6 ounces. No, it's not quite that heavy. That's really strange. And I don't have that. You know, they're saying 2.8. They're saying overall, just under 7 inches. I don't think that's what we agreed on here. Well, I mean, this 7 1/4 right there, and then you bring it out past the scale to really the end, 7 3/4. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's why we check them. Maybe I'm talking about the wrong model. Is this under 7 inches? Wrong. So, oh well. Weight. Wrong. This was a little lighter than the 6 ounces. So I don't know. Maybe I should have pulled the Blade HQ one and seen what they said on this. 7270 Ripsnort. 7270 Ripsnort. I don't know, man. So you would have thought this is under 7 inches, and it's not. It's almost 8. Whew, I don't know. Under 3-inch blade? No, it's bigger than that. Just strange. You got a front choil here. And so you can choke up like this. This is rounded. The insides of these scales, I guess this is the one thing that kind of grabbed me, maybe literally and figuratively when I put this knife in my hand, was it's grabby on the inside. Really, you could take the knife apart and just touch the inner sides of these liners, and that would make this pretty good. There's really just not a lot of contouring, or, so I can see a guy taking this apart, doing the outer scale, the inner liners, breaking all the edges, putting it back together. Then I think it would be ace number 1. I think it's a little edgy here, a little unfinished there. I mean, you got a backspacer here, so you're not feeling it. But here and then under here, you're feeling that. Little bit. See if you agree with me. There's got to be a lot of people with this now in their hands. So it's not like I've grabbed the first batch here. It's been a while. I didn't really feel the pull of getting this, and then it was kind of sold out for a while. And so when it kind of came back in and somebody pointed me in the direction, I grabbed it. I was getting another item from Blade HQ, and so I threw it in the cart too, because I was really curious about it. And the action's really good. Lockup solid, liners are thick, and they're not skeletonized. You can see in there? No. So, ooh, thick, but not skeletonized. So that really adds a lot to the weight. Kind of strange that they wouldn't have done that. But other than that, I mean, it's not so edgy here that it really bothers you, but you notice it. I mean, you can notice it there. So yeah, if this was going to be a long-term keeper, then yes, I'd be breaking these edges here. Other than that, it's a worker. I mean, it's smooth. It deploys well. It was centered up for me when I got it out of the box, and it is. Good old thick blade on it. Maybe not your style from a blade material standpoint of the HCR13 MOV, but obviously it'd be fairly easy to sharpen. Not a real high edge retention type steel. And not a very high price either. But I do like the design. It's thick and chunky and heavy, which I don't mind. 5.6, whatever. So, no, that didn't bother me. Feels good in the hand. Forward choil. You can choke up. You can get to whatever you're going to get to. You know, if cleaver style is not the most practical, no, it's not. For certain tasks, but definitely for slicing, not bad. Although, yeah, you got the flipper tab. So, be what may. Take another look at it, how the scale kind of drops off here. Okay, and nah, that doesn't feel edgy. That doesn't bother me. There, so no, but on the inside of these liners here, yeah. Other than that, good knife, feels good, deploys well. Wow, we never even cut a piece of paper, did we? We might as well. Still my knife before it ships out. Okay. Reasonably sharp out of the box. Can't complain about that. All right, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for joining me. You know, check in with our table sales. We have a pass-around group. If you want to be on that, let me know. I got my email and Instagram links down below in the description section below the video. Subscribe if you'd like. We have table sales periodically, and of course giveaways when we hit certain subscriber levels, and we try and have a lot of fun with the giveaways. Sometimes we even do them in the in-between, in-betwixt, just for fun, because you know what we do around here. We love them knives, so stay sharp.